In this video, I will compare the Western scientific approach that many people are familiar with and the spiritual scientific approach that has its roots in the Eastern philosophy. So, East versus West. Let's start with a text from Osho and see what we can find out. There are only two types of minds in the world, the Greek and the Hindu. The Greek mind is logical and absolutely rational. The Hindu mind is illogical and absolutely contradictory. The Indian one moves into the dark wild depths where there are no boundaries and everything is vague and cloudy. The Greek mind moves into the known. The Indian mind moves into the unknown. Even more, into the unknowable. With this quote, I would like to mention that they are both sciences, the Western one and the Eastern one, such as yoga. They are both complete in their own way, and they also have many similarities, even if this might sound paradoxical. In spirituality, you will realize that everything is interconnected. And even the philosophy of the Eastern and Western mind, if I can say it like this, because in reality it doesn't exist, it's only an idea, a product of the mind. I honestly think that it's great what research has achieved, but we also need to acknowledge that there are clear boundaries, and I also discussed this in one of my other videos. If you want, you can check them out. So as long as I'm studying psychology as a scientific discipline, but also myself due to meditation, yoga and qigong, I really see the clear differences concerning those two approaches and their methods. Both want to find out more about something, about life, but their approaches differ, and therewith also their efficiency of seeking and finding answers. In science, you normally try to create this huge and broad picture by trying to collect single findings and, trying to combine them to get this huge broad picture. But therewith you only create some kind of truth that is limited. Let's call it relative truth, because it is only true within those concepts. If there are any new findings, you need to come up with a new theory, with more theories. You need to update them, but you never have this theory and it will be always true. There are always things that need to be updated. However, we all know that life is simply too complex to put it into one single concept or even two or three concepts. So spirituality is different concerning its approach. You want to go the whole way. You want to find out the whole truth. You're not satisfied by this relative truth. And this is where the actual difference lies. And I need to be honest, many people do not have a deep understanding of themselves, and we're also not the perfect rational thinker, even if we think that way. But yeah, therefore science uses, or research uses, some clear and strict rules that you need to follow, and it helps you, it guides you to work within those concepts. You can be more precise. And I think that this can be very helpful, because in spirituality you don't have all those rules. I mean, of course, you can find approaches that do have strict guidelines and rules, such as Buddhism, but I have the feeling that the seriousness and dedication that actually should come along with it was never really brought into the Western part of the world. This is not an issue. I mean, really, not at all. But therefore, you will find many people who think that they are spiritual or religious, but in reality, I don't know to what extent. But they will come and tell you interesting things and want to teach you things Yeah, it doesn't mean that all of that stuff is wrong, not at all. But often they just copy words from other people without having a single experience of what they're actually talking about. And if you ask them to explain, they will simply quote any master or the last Instagram post from a spiritual account. And to be honest, it's okay, there's nothing wrong with it, or not that much, really, because I also used to do this and sometimes I still catch myself doing it. But what is important is that we need to be aware of it. And this is way easier in science, even if you also have a lot of responsibility there. But this is what I really like about research. You have those clear, strict rules that you need to follow, all those methods, even if they might piss me off sometimes. But with life, this is different. If you try to look at life through this scientific research lens, I wish you all the best, but it's so hard. It's just, as I said, too complex. There are too many variables that you need to twist and to control. It only works up to a certain point, but you can never, really never, grasp the whole meaning of life. Also, when I do videos and talk about, for instance, spirituality, I create some kind of barriers. I write scripts beforehand and really think about it and try to put it into words, because it's really not easy. But with those words, they act as a barrier, the language itself, because it is not the experience. It is only an interpretation, my interpretation. But you cannot name the truth by putting it into words. You can maybe come very close to it if you're really good with it, but it's just a representation in the end. And it's really great to have those kind of theories for theoretical implications, but in the end those are only facts and numbers. Even modern fascinating theories, for instance, the integral theory of Ken Wilber, is kind of limited. It tries to grasp the whole concept, but in the end it's only a theory. But if you think that those theories are true and like really real, it will limit yourself, because you cannot understand life, you can only experience it. And this is what you actually want to do, right? You do not want to sit on the couch and having all these facts and this knowledge, but being completely depressed. What I'm trying to do on this channel is to combine all the psychological, spiritual and personal knowledge, and I really hope that it can help other people on their path of self-development. And my message for this video is that both disciplines are sciences by itself, but they have clear differences, but none of them is better or worse. You can use them and use both, try out new things, because if you become aware of your biased way of thinking, you don't limit yourself so much and just use what is there instead of saying I only go this or that way. And I would like to end this video with the second part of Osho's text. Enjoy. The left side of your brain is Greek, the right side of your brain is Hindu. Your left side brain, which is joined with your right hand, calculates, thinks and analyzes. Your right side brain, which is joined with your left hand, intuits, sings, loves. Yoga and all other techniques of meditation are nothing but bridges to take you from the left hemisphere to the right hemisphere. Once you've reached the right hemisphere, the world of poetry, the world of beauty, the world of love opens its doors. Then God is. No proof is needed, one simply feels, one simply knows for no other reason, And once you're centered in the right hemisphere of your brain, you can use the left hemisphere also, but now it will function as a servant. And the left hemisphere is a good servant, but a bad master. My name is Till and this is Till Talk.